Good afternoon from Texas Motor Speedway, and welcome here as we get set for the 2021 TMSRA Invitational here at Texas Motor Speedway. We are getting ready for 34 laps of racing here, and these 39 drivers, these are what I call the Diva Series drivers. They're ready to take on Texas Motor Speedway, so let's give you the lineup. We have June Bailey on the pole, or on the outside pole, Daniel Witter on the pole, Becky Walters, Erica Douglas, Molly Thomas, Rosalinda Masterson, Stephanie Driscoll, Brittany White, Annie Einstein, Hazel Triggs, Amanda Scoutmaster, Mia Tucker, Rebecca Hawkins, Lisa Simpson, Stacy Anderson, Lauren Ekstrom, Julie Kane, Emily Elizabeth, Sydney Vortex, Maggie Pubtown, Gwen Tennyson, Veronica Platts, June Einstein, Crystal Bridges, Amber Rowland, Courtney Lynn, who lost out on the title to her team owner Nathan Orman, Brooklyn Carter, Stephanie Robertson, Jessica Moore, Lucy Matthews, Scarlett Wallace, Maddie Crenshaw, Connie Gordon, Charlotte Baker, Chelsea Richards, Crystal Fontaine, Jill Thomas, the champion of one of the two Diva Series, the 19 of Matilda Cobb, and Chloe Carmichael complete the field. So we're going to go ahead and get these drivers going. They have already given the command to fire the engines. And we are set for 34 laps of racing here today. This is one of two events we have going on this weekend. We, of course, have the birthday bash for the Reese's Pro Series drivers, those that finished in the top 35 in owner points. That made it into this event, plus the 7 drivers who finished outside the top 35. So the top 42 from the points from the, what was then is the retired Reese's Pro. They will be in the birthday bash for tomorrow. There you go. As I said, 34 laps here today. Texas is one of those tracks that these cars are going to be pretty fast. And Texas is another track, like it's kind of like the sister track to Charlotte, which we had the championship race on Monday in the, or last month, I should say, in the Reese's Pro Series. And also the track in Atlanta. So we're ready to go. 34 laps, top 21 will transfer to the main event as we are ready for duel number 1 here at Texas. There are 78 drivers in this event for the 42 spots, or attempting to get one of the 42 spots. The transfer spot will be the 21st place car. Erica Douglas going to go for the lead. Erica Douglas, who just recently announced she will be joining Daniel Voiles Racing in the Coca-Cola Truck Series next season. She gets the honor of leading the first lap. And of course, the sun is out here at Texas. These cars are going to be slip-sliding around. And if what we've seen so far from Reese's Pro, what we've seen here, we could see some yellows and possibly strategy. Yeah, well, even though 34 laps, these cars can make it on fuel. But it's going to be, do they have enough Goodyear rubber on their cars to last 34 laps? And the yellow flag is out for the first time today. I did not forget the yellow flag. And Gwen Tennyson is involved. Stacy Anderson. Jessica Moore, who's in the Truck Series. That's Maddie Crenshaw. That's one of Zachary Taylor's drivers. Lucy Matthews. What happened going into, I think this happened down the back straightaway, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we had a wreck on the front stretch. Okay, let's take a look. Don't know who this start. Oh, they went 4 wide. And you all know how in NR 2003 fashion they go 4 wide. It's going to end in disaster. Looks like 4 wide just didn't work, and contact between Gwen Tennyson and Stacy Anderson resulted in that. Maddie Crenshaw got a piece. Stephanie Robertson also got a piece. There's the damage to Jessica Moore. And looks like Lucy Matthews ran in the back of the Motorcraft Ford. That was Maddie Crenshaw. And let me confirm that with you guys, if that is indeed the case. And yes, it is indeed the case. Just nowhere to go. That's unfortunate, because now they've become our first casualties out of the race. That's too bad. First caution of the race. And unlike the Battle of the SRA, we might have a lot more cautions in this special event versus the Battle of the SRA, where we only had like 1 caution in the main event. See some skid marks down the back straightaway. I don't know where that came from. We're about to investigate that. Notice some skid marks going down the back straightaway. I don't know if there was an incident that I was not aware of. Let's go back to the pace car. Yeah, there is some smoke. Did we have a collision under the yellow flag that I was not aware of? Yes, there was. Good thing I have knowledge in technology. It looks like this was under the yellow flag. It's like Courtney Lynn, Veronica Platts, Mia Tucker got involved. Looks like Emily Elizabeth was also involved. Sydney Vortex in the 7 got a piece of it. And Brooklyn Carter involved. Well, as if Zachary Taylor's drivers needed some bad luck, Connie Gordon got a piece of it. Now I was wondering why there were skid marks on the back straightaway. Now we have the answer to that question. Let's go back to the pace car. And back to the 32. Well, good thing I'm figuring out why were there skid marks on the back straightaway. Now we know. Boy. That's a great way to start this first qualifying race of 2. Yes, we have 2 qualifying races. Because like I documented at the top of the show, there are 39 cars in each duel. There are 78 drivers in the Diva Series for the 42 spots. Which means I said the top 21 would advance. That would mean 18 drivers in each race will not make the main event. So if you do the math with 78 minus 42, do not help me, I can find it. 36 drivers will not make the main event. As we're going to take you through the field. Erica Douglas, the leader. June Bailey in second. I almost said Daniel Woodard because she drove that car in season 1. Molly Thomas third. Fourth is Stephanie Driscoll. Rebecca Hawkins fifth. Annie Einstein 6th, 7th Daniel Witter, Lauren Ekstrom 8th, Brittany White 9th, and 10th is Julie Kane. Excuse me there. Almost said June Bailey. Sorry about that, as we got the Lindigo signal. Rosalinda Masters, 11th is Maggie Pubtown. I accidentally skipped her, my apologies. Rosalinda Masters 12th, Lisa Simpson 13th, Becky Waltzer is 14th, Amanda Scoutmaster 15th. She's back in the Reese's Pro for 2022. Hazel Trigg 16th, June Einstein 17th. Got the 2 Einsteins mixed up, my bad. Mia Tucker 18th, 19th, Courtney Lynn. Veronica Platts is 20th. Sydney Vortex on the bubble in 21st. 22nd, Scarlett Wallace 23rd. Brooklyn Carter 24th. Connie Gordon 25th. Crystal Fontaine, Crystal Bridges 26th. 27th is Amber Rowland 28th. Matilda Cobb. Rowland's moving down the Buffalo Wild Wings Series next season. Jill Thomas is 29th. 30th is Charlotte Baker. 31st, Chelsea Richards. 32nd, Stephanie Robertson. 33rd, Chloe Carmichael. 34th, Emily Elizabeth, who still hasn't even fixed her damage. 1 lap down is Jessica Moore in 35th. Drivers out after that incident. Looks like the 43 of Stacy Anderson is out. She will not make the main event. Maddie Crenshaw is out. She will not make the main event. Lucy Matthews and Gwen Tennyson, those two will also not make the main event. All four of them have gone to the Infield Care Center as a result. We're back to green. Hopefully this time, with me doing the recording of the special event, I do not get interrupted by one of my roommates. Unlike what happened in one of the qualifiers in the Battle of the SRA. Excuse me there. And of course I'm recording this at like almost 4 in the morning. My bad. I know I should be asleep, but oh well. Rather take advantage of getting this recorded in advance, as Emily Elizabeth is coming back on the track for some reason. She has not fixed her damage. And I'm assuming she's going to come back to Pit Road. Yes, sirree. Why am I not surprised? Don't you love NR, where every time they send an AI car out on the track, they don't even fix the damage, and, well, there you go. Erica Douglas driving the Tide Pontiac Grand Prix in this race. Of course, this is the team she's been driving for. Erica Douglas, as I mentioned at the top of the show, was announced she is going to be replacing Anna Leonard at Daniel Voiles Racing in the truck series. She's going to run a part-time schedule, the same 22 truck that she drove last season, which was what was then called Douglas Motorsports. They were recently bought out by Daniel Voiles Racing. They kept all of the crew members from Douglas Motorsports over to DVR. They also kept Erica Douglas in the seat. She's going to run a limited schedule in the truck series. She's also made it into the top 5 in the point standings in the truck series. So she has been gifted up to the Buffalo Wild Wings series. I believe she also made it into the Final Four to compete for the championship in the truck series, from what I was told by sources, because all the trucks in Buffalo Wild Wings series races are not airing. So there you go. Sorry, my hand was in the way. Lap 13 of 34. Crystal Bridges currently holding the final transfer spot to make it into the main event. And of course, typical me, surprising you all with a special event that comes out of nowhere, if you know what I mean. Yes, because I'm full of surprises. Go figure, so. Approaching the midway point of this qualifying race. And who in the world was that up ahead? That would be Jessica Moore, who's in 33rd spot. She's already overtaken, and we understand Lisa Simpson, as Erica Douglas just got around Jessica Moore, and also Lauren Ekstrom got held up. We understand the 6 of Lisa Simpson has taken her car back behind the wall. She had an engine failure. So, tough break for Lisa Simpson. She will not make the main event. And that's too bad for the driver out of Springfield, Illinois. One of 2 Illinois people in in what is going to be now called the BHRA, the other being Kyle Langland, who is from Northern Illinois. That's too bad for Lisa. Of course, she is from the Springfield area. Her brother Bart, I believe, is going to be running a limited schedule in the Hershey's Amateur Series. I believe Lisa also said she was going to be running a few races in the Amateur Series to get a full-time ride for 2023. Just past the halfway mark, 17 down, 17 to go. And there's Erica Douglas currently leading. Right behind her, the champion of the Buffalo Wild Wings series, Rebecca Hawkins. Of course, she's driving the Budweiser Chevrolet out of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Of course, her teammate was involved in Veronica Platts, which will explain something very interesting in a minute. Rebecca Hawkins won the championship in the Buffalo Wild Wings series, and because of the fact she finished top 5 in the point standings, she has been given a gift up to the Reese's Pro Series. Who is she going to drive for, you ask? Going to drive for Annie Winters' team, the number 38 Discord Ford that was driven by Strawberry Lawson this past season in the Reese's Pro Series that we just completed on May 31st. On the May holiday, and I'm not going to say it or else I'm going to get myself on the board. And don't say it, because I'm not going to. Here's Lauren Ekstrom. Lauren Ekstrom had just completed her first season in the PCSRA Reese's Pro Series, now what will be called the BHRA Reese's Pro Series. And let me do something real quick. If you see something freeze, I do apologize. I was pulling the points up from this past season. Lauren finished that season off 26th in the points. She did win a pole, which would guarantee her a spot in the Clash. Had no wins, 5 top 5s, and 10 top 10s. Very okay rookie year. I wouldn't say it was the greatest rookie year. And the interesting part is Lauren Ekstrom finished 9th in the Rookie of the Year standings. And funny thing was, she finished ahead of a driver who was in the playoffs in Reagan Whitlock. I find that really funny. And I find it funny that we have 3 drivers who are moved up to the ladder. Erica Douglas is going to be in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. We have about second between 2 soon-to-be Reese's competitors in Lauren Ekstrom and Rebecca Hawkins. Of course, Hawkins has the Champions Provisional, as they're going to get it around Jessica Moore. It's like the 12 and the 8 dispatched the 24 without much of an issue. So there you go. Checking the running order. And already 5 drivers out of the race. Lisa Simpson has gotten out of her car. Tough break for Lisa. But looking forward to see what she can do in the Hershey's Amateur Series. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. Of course, that series has 40 entries entered for Daytona. Of course, Lisa's going to run a limited schedule in the Hershey's Amateur Series. She's going to run a full season in this series, the Diva Series. And if you don't know what the Diva Series is, it's like NASCAR's version of female drivers racing. There you go. And we are under yellow for the second time today because I see the pace car. And I wonder who caused... Oh, it was Daniel Witter from Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Looks like one of the Thomas kids. Or Thomas sisters. I think that was the 18. Indeed, it was the 18. That's Molly Thomas. And Molly Thomas is going to run for Rookie of the Year in the Reese's Series next season. Let's see. I'm assuming the 24 had something to do with it. Or not. Or it looked to me, yeah, I think the 4 had something to do with it. Yep. Wow, that was a shot. Courtney Lynn got hooked by the 1 of Danielle Witter and sent the Pennzoil Chevrolet flying. Courtney Lynn and Molly Thomas also were collected. And, oh, Amanda Scoutmaster got a piece of it. I didn't see her involved. And it just destroyed the right front fender of the Hooters Ford. And Scoutmaster, who won the championship, I believe... No, she did not. She was a runner-up champion And, well, she's not going to make the main event, and that's too bad. And the last person who wanted to see this yellow was Erica Douglas. So our second yellow, less than 10 to go. We will have a single file restart. And indeed, looks like Amanda Scoutmaster, Molly Thomas, Courtney Lynn, and Danielle Witter have taken their cars behind the wall. Those four will go to the care center. The 43, 21, 938 were already released from the medical center. The 6 did not have to go to the medical center because that was a mechanical failure. And, well, that's too bad. So Courtney Lynn, who lost the championship by 13 points, unfortunately, she's not going to be in the main event for the Invitational, but she will be in the main event for the Birthday Bash. So, yeah, so that's too bad for her. Having to sit and watch the rest of the Diva Series drivers run the main event. That's too bad. And by the way, after this race, we'll be halfway through the first of 2 qualifying races. And of course, I know my speedy reporter, the champion of the Reese's Pro, Nathan Orman, will be keeping track of the special events for this main event, the TMSRA Invitational, as well as who won the Birthday Bash. You'll see the Birthday Bash on Wednesday. Today is the qualifiers for tomorrow's TMSRA Invitational, which will be 51 laps. And I believe there might be pit stops in that race. So 2 cautions in this one. Seems like the fact that this is going to be a fun little race, if you ask me. So we'll see how that goes, if you know what I mean. So pretty soon we should get the 1 to go signal. Right now on the bubble is Chelsea Richards, a 3rd car out of the Robert Yates Racing Stables. Of course, she had a teammate in Gwen Tennyson in this event. And her other teammate, which is the 88, will be in the next race later today. Got the 1 to go signal. Douglas, Ekstrom, Hawkins, Pubtown, June Einstein, that's your top 5. Bailey, Vortex, Wallace, Kane, and Crystal Bridges. That is your top 10, as we are going to get the restart with 4 laps to go. If we get another caution, we will not get back to green, and the race will end under the yellow flag. Of course, as I said, this is the first of 2 qualifying races we have here today. We will have, in between the qualifying races, we will have the drivers in the Birthday Bash have practice as they get prepared for their race on Wednesday. I think they're going to have one of 3 practice sessions for the weekend. Which I believe will be only an hour. So, back to green. As looks like the 24 is off the pace, so hopefully we can get the white without a yellow to play interference. As I said, if the yellow comes out now, the race will be over. And yeah. And so it doesn't matter who wins this race, it matters if you make it into the top 21. So Erica Douglas has led from start, has been leading since the start of this race. Can we get our first battle for the lead? And looks like we might. Yes, we will. Here comes the champion of the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, Rebecca Hawkins, as they avoid the 51 of Emily Elizabeth, who spooked them out of the pit, which Emily Elizabeth just spooked the leaders for some reason. 3 laps to go. Like said, surprise, I'm coming out of nowhere. Here comes June Einstein. As June Einstein has the lead here in the qualifier for tomorrow's Invitational. You'll see that right here on the PCSRA Radio Network. 2 laps to go. We'll come and get the white flag for the first of our qualifiers here for the Invitational. It's like Emily Elizabeth out of harm's way. Will not play interference with these drivers. If the leader gets the white and the yellow comes out, we race back no matter what. Scarlett Wallace up high. 1 lap to go for June Einstein, sponsored by Credit One Bank. She is the leader after this so far. Erica Douglas led until she was passed with less than 5 laps to go. June Einstein, who announced she was going to be running a limited schedule in the Reese's Pro, goes back to victory lane. June Einstein goes back to victory lane, wins the TMSRA Invitational qualifying race number 1. And she will be in the main event as well as the other 20 drivers, which we're going to show you the results right now. And there are your results, my friends. June Einstein, congratulations. That is a big win for her. And I know she's been struggling in the Reese's Pro, which she finished that season, the Reese's Pro season. She finished that season... Where did she finish in points? I think she didn't finish too well. She finished 72nd in points. And first time none of the Einstein drivers found victory lane. Erica Douglas so close, but she will transfer in the main event. Same with Scarlett Wallace. Same with Maggie Pubtown. Sorry, my left hand's about to fall asleep for some reason. Crystal Bridges, Lauren Ekstrom, Amber Rowland, Rebecca Hawkins, Sydney Vortex, and June Bailey complete the top 10. Hazel Triggs will transfer, so will Becky Walters. Charlotte Baker, Julie Kane, Chloe Carmichael, Mia Tucker, Brittany White, Stephanie Driscoll, Matilda Cobb, Chelsea Richards, and Connie Gordon got the final transfer spot to make the main event. Sorry if my hand was in the way. Unfortunately, the drivers who will not make the main event, you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, and there's the big shocker right there. The champion of one of the Diva Series, Jill Thomas, will not make the main event. In fact, the top 2 who bound for the championship also will not make the main event. So they are Rosalinda Meston, Jill Thomas, Brooklyn Carter, Stephanie Robertson, Annie Einstein, Crystal Fontaine, Veronica Platt, who is no relationship to the one in Georgia. Jessica Moore, Amanda Scoutmaster, Molly Thomas, Daniel Witter, Courtney Lynn, Emily Elizabeth, Lisa Simpson, Stacey Anderson, Maddie Crenshaw, Lucy Matthews, and Gwen Tennyson, which means both of Taylor's drivers will not make the main event. So June Einstein is going to victory lane. Congratulations to her. Who will be the other 21 drivers that will join these 21 right here? You'll have to tune in later today to find that answer out. So until then, ta-ta.